So it will have been 12 years this summer since the executive action that launched DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. The point of it was and is to protect kids of undocumented immigrants from deportation as they got here on no fault of their own. So if a kid got into DACA, they got to stay as long as they were enrolled in school or completed high school and stayed out of trouble. Over the years, the program has gotten controversial for some and some pushback. Recently, a Texas district court judge ruled DACA to be unlawful. So for the time being, anyone in DACA still has protections for as long as they have this grant, but new applications going through are on hold while it's in the courts. Wanted to give you that history to bring you to our next story, which is where are those very first dreamers now? Well, we found one of them. He will soon be pursuing a PhD at the University of Minnesota's Humphrey School, and he says he's the very first to do it. Heidi has the story.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Behind everything Edwin Torres does,
Good.
there's purpose.
Text me her.
Edwin is the VP of Public Affairs for the Minneapolis communications firm New Publica.
Kat, what's your email?
In the past, he's worked for politicians, from U.S. senators to governors. But to understand Edwin's story,
So that's my dad here, that's my mother here, and
you must start at the beginning.
I was born in El Salvador. I was born at the end of a long civil war, and it really plagued our community.
Edwin's parents migrated to the U.S. determined to give their family a better life. When Edwin was 8, he and his brother joined them.
Life was hard. At that time, I didn't know I was undocumented. I just knew I was just reunited with my mom and dad, and my younger brother who was born here.
They grew up in Los Angeles, bouncing from job to job, house to house. Twice, they were homeless.
All I could see was two adults who loved their kids, who wanted them to succeed, but they didn't know the language, they didn't have the status, they didn't know how to do that. But my parents both, every single time said, Mijo, you're gonna go to school. We did all this work so you could go to college.
With support from his teachers, Edwin graduated top of his class. But as a dreamer, the barriers to college were immense.
And once again, through the mentorship of counselors and teachers, they found a small school in Minnesota, St. John's University and the College at St. Benedict, who gave me that opportunity.
They took a nearly 2,000-mile journey driving from California to Minnesota with plenty of bumps in the road. As they said goodbye, Edwin made his parents a promise.
Let me be here for 4 years, and I promise you that your life will be better.
Edwin majored in political science and went on to get his master's in policy at the U of M's Humphrey School of Public Affairs. Now he's making history. This fall, he will be the first undocumented immigrant and DACA recipient to pursue a PhD at the Humphrey School.
We're a huge chunk of about 12 million plus people that gets under research from policy, yet policies are created for us and about us or against us with little input from the actual community, let alone from someone in the community that has a PhD. My life has been shaped by my identities as an undocumented DACA recipient, dreamer, and a queer individual. So how can I not be involved in a political system that I have no rights to?
Driven by a purpose planted by his parents.
As you can imagine, they just cried. To see their struggles manifest into now having, in a few years, a doctorate in their family. It just justifies the work that they've done. And I hope it inspires others that no matter what you've been through, what you've gone, that I'm just a little kid from El Salvador who was given a chance, and I took it.
Edwin recently found out he's been granted a full ride scholarship for the program. He'll be starting in the fall. Edwin talked a lot about the teachers who were there for him, including his third grade teacher, Ms. Munns, who used to help him learn English and would send him home with food for his family. He hopes to become a professor one day and pay it forward. And Jana, this is also so cool. Edwin was also able to move his family out to Minnesota. He bought his parents their very first home here.